light. From ups and downs, we're not alone. This is our space where we've grown. Real talk, no filter, just the truth. Navigating life from the old to the youth. Laughter, wisdom, and a little fun. We've got something for everyone.
Am I the only person who's ever flicked open their AirPods and they've like gone flying?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. And you're like, son of a bitch. It's always when I'm like about to edit the podcast and I'll like do that, or like out of nowhere you get that like scratch on your face or whatever, and you go like this and then you knock it out and you're like, where'd it go? Find it.
Oh my god, it was like me finding the needle to do cross stitch, and
You're gonna say a needle in a haystack.
and it literally got stuck here, like underneath my boobs, and I was like, where is it?
What is up, you guys? My name is Sarah.
My name is Eve.
And we are Burnt Out Perfectionist. Welcome to 2025. Season 3. Which, like, when I actually looked at it, the average podcast is like 10 episodes, and 2 seasons is usually the max. So, we have definitely preceded that.
I'd like to say that we try to do like the pretty basic vibe. Like, they do every week unless there's like issues and stuff. So,
yeah.
which is fun. Which I'm like 10 episodes. That's like, that's like one every month. Not even.
So there's a lot of people who will do like those, like a mini series, like a podcast mini series on like a crime. That's what like a lot of them are, to be totally honest. I feel like podcasts were literally created for people to do crime documentaries.
Which is fun, but I also feel like there's a lot of people who don't like want to watch YouTube and has it and like the background has like visuals, but instead you could just have it like on your phone. Do audio.
100%. And that's a big thing, right? Like there's all the different ways to do and see things. Like I was on TikTok. Are we surprised? I was on a social media platform where you originally only watched short form videos, not Vine. As I wink. And I saw this book. It's called Stone Maidens, and it is by an older gentleman named Lloyd. Oh, I'm going to screw this up, and I'm very sorry. Devereaux Richards. And it was one of those ones where it's like, my dad wrote a book, and he's been waiting his whole life to write a book, and he did all this other stuff, and I saw like 1 or 2 TikToks of them, and I liked it, and then he was talking about it, and he was so sad on the day that it launched. Like, not a lot of people bought them, and then people started like seeing the TikToks and like buying them that were on behalf of his daughter, and he was getting so excited about like 1 or 2 things, and I was like, I love this. This is like the same kind of vibe that we have. Like, if a couple people buy our stuff, we're like, oh my god, this is so cool. So I went on and used my Audible credit to get his book because I listen to books more than I actually physically read media.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give that a shout out. I'm probably going to cut this and put this into a video just because there's lots of people out there who don't have big publishers and stuff like that. And it's just the same as like indie games that you can find too, where some of them are on like Steam, or some of them are able to get them like on the Nintendo store or the PlayStation store and stuff. And some of those can be a little bit more fun, like the average game or another sequel to a regular game that you have. So I just wanted to bring that up. And then I also have a fun fact, Eve.
Yes.
Yes. My fun fact is, did you know that New Year's wasn't always celebrated on January 1st?
Yes.
Okay, I did not know this. So back in ancient time, the start of the year was tied to the spring equinox, which makes so much more sense because like spring cleaning, which is like around March 21st, as we know. Julius Caesar changed it to January 1st in 46 BC. When he reformed the calendar, marking the beginning of the new year on the first day of the month, named after Janus, 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 the Roman god of doors and beginnings. So if you're not feeling motivated at the start of the year, it is totally okay. You can wait till spring.
Janus.
Oh, would it be? That's what
I think it's Janus.
I was going to go with like a Jesus vibe, but then I didn't quite know. So yeah. But yeah, so Eve, what did you do for New Year's?
I cross-stitched.
I love it.
Over, so it's happy holidays. Yeah. Realistic. I worked New Year's Eve, so went into the new year working, as I do. And I came home, and for Christmas this year, I'd say like a majority of us got like crafting and hobby-esque gifts, which I
100%.
loved.
Yeah.
And our mom had bought these like cross-stitch bookmarks, and she was like, "Oh, like you got into like you were talking about like punch needling and like
Yeah.
I bought an absurd amount of embroidery floss to make felt ornaments, which I made a ton of them."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." So I started cross stitching as we're watching, like, I think I watched the ball drop 4 times because I watched like the country music chord one.
Oh, yeah.
Then I watched the pop one, and then I watched the New York one, and the London one, which like London, bless your soul. Guess do you know what song they played? Well, the new year was coming
Is
in.
it Taps? I feel like it was
No.
Taps. What?
The story of my life with One Direction.
That's so cute.
I was
First off, I love that song. Second off, like, that's super nice that they did that. He was, like, such a big star, and now it's been shown that it was, like, there were shenanigans, which I did predict, because I didn't think he was doing, I don't know. I just got a weird feeling when you see stuff, and you're like, something ain't right.
Yeah, I was like, that says. Yeah, so they bring that in, so it was nice to watch those, and then I went to sleep at midnight, as per usual.
No.
I was actually kind of surprised that I stayed awake that long. And our dog's terrified of fireworks, so when people were setting them off at 9, 10, 11, and 3 o'clock, and midnight, and 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know who decided that 3 a.m. was, like, an optimal time to let off some fireworks.
I don't know, and they were the really loud ones that, like, kind of sound like a bomb's going off.
Oh, those are firecrackers instead of fireworks.
Okay, mixture of all of them. It was very loud, and my outside smelled like smoke, and my brain at 3 a.m. going, is something going on? And then smelling smoke after a boom. I was a little, which, like, you can call me a Grinch, I don't care, but was like, no, it's our use of setting them off at 3 a.m.
No, that's the whole thing, is like leading out to it. Say you're doing them at 9, you have kids, they're watching an Eastern breakfast. Midnight, okay, like midnight, 1 o'clock, like that type of thing. But like 3 fucking a.m., that's just rude.
I literally had to get up for work like 2 hours later. Yeah, I was like, excuse me?
Excuse me.
What did you do for New Year's Eve?
I went to my friend's house, and they have kids too. So there was like a bunch of the kids just like playing around. Some of them went like the hot tub. My kid, after they were done playing mini sticks, was chilling near the outside fire pit in her avocado udi that our aunt bought her. And we ended up staying there. We did some karaoke until midnight, which was just the ladies. The guys were giggling and watching us just like give it. The amount of dance routines that we remembered from songs in the 90s, like Stop. Like literally we were on freaking point Stop from Spice Girls. And we even had like our one friend's husband was like filming us while we were doing it, and we're all like, we want these videos. And then we kept doing it, and it was a very like not a lot of people were drinking, to be totally honest, which was super nice. Like it wasn't like a let's get wasted for New Year's type thing, which was a fun different vibe to do. And literally my friend stops whose house we're at, and she goes, oh my God, you guys want to go dancing? I'm like, guys, we'll never get into like a club. That's how she was talking like downtown. I'm like, first off, we're old. Second off, you usually have to buy tickets to get into stuff like that. And she's like, no, like, I mean, like, just at like this like local place and everything. Well, lo and behold, the moms went. We walked in, there was this great couple. I don't know if they were a couple or just like a duet. There's like live band playing where this guy could literally rock Don Henley from friggin' the Eagles, and I was baffled because some people who try to do his voice are like not good. This guy was solid, and they're playing like country and like Eagles, like stuff like that, like CCR, different things that they had done. And then I look up like 2 seconds after walking in, and I giggled because it was a lady who I've worked with for years, and then ironically, Eve and I both ended up working with her husband at one point. So, like, it was just so fun to, like, see them. We were probably the youngest people in said bar, and we didn't care because it was just a little tiny dance floor. There's nothing funnier than, like, my friend's out there. She's, like, dance away to this one song, and this little song comes on. This little old man walks over. He's like, would you like to dance? It reminded me of, like, old days of going to this, like, country western bar where I used to go on, like, college nights when I was younger, and it was just, like, fun. It wasn't like, let's get wasted and dance like idiot. Like all the shit I used to do in my 20s, which was fun at the time. But now I feel like I would regret that. I was home literally by 2 a.m. And then I like took all my makeup off like a responsible adult. Took all my makeup off, brushed my teeth, put my hair up, went to bed, and it was so funny because I'm just sitting there because I'm still like awake, obviously. And I'm like going through TikTok, and my husband's like, "Oh, oh my God, you're back. What time is it?" I'm like, "It's like 2:15." Like by the time I was in bed, he goes, "Really?" I'm like, yeah. And he goes, "How you doing?" I was like, I'm good. Like I saw a couple people and stuff like this, and he goes, "Oh, it's fun." I'm like, yeah. Does not remember the conversation at all. I'm not stressed. Because he was like, "What time did you come home last night?" I'm like, "What?" But he did the best thing ever. I woke up on January 1st of 2025. I went upstairs and my kid woke up at the same time at like 11 a.m. So again, I'm a useless human being if I wake up too late in the day. So I was like, oh, I'm just taking this a chill day. We went up and sat down. He's like, okay, I'm going to go make breakfast. I was like, okay, like, why are you announcing it? But it was like kind of funny the way he did it. Then he just smiles at me and hits play. And I watch and I hear, no one wants the wicked. And I'm like, oh my God, he will wake it out for me. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so Eve and I had gone to see it, but my daughter and my husband have not seen it. So it was really fun. Also, I could sing out loud and no one cared. Because I didn't want to be that person in the theater. So yeah, that was pretty great. And then I put away Christmas yesterday. So pulled all the stuff out from underneath the stairs and put away all the Christmas stuff just because I was going to do it the day before. And then I was like, maybe not.
I worked yesterday. So
No, that's fine. Yeah, last year, my friend was like, my house is a mess. I feel like a mess. And I took a selfie of me next to my Christmas tree. And it was like January 28th. And I was like, yeah, don't worry.
still here.
Still here.
Yeah, welcome to season 3.
Season 3. So I don't know what I'm going to do at the beginning, or we would have already done it. If you go to our TikTok, our TikTokies, or our short form video content platform, because I heard that sometimes things get suppressed if you say them on other social media platforms.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to do like a vote on the song. We did some ones where it was like you have the lyrics and then you get like AI to generate it, or we can just do some of the random unlicensed music. We'll put a couple different options out there, and then if you guys can vote and let us know what works for you. I don't know what I'll do for this one. I might just pick a random one that we like and then go from there. See if people are like, what was that at the beginning? That is a hard pass.
That was terrible.
That was a no.
You've already probably seen it now, but cover art is live on all platforms.
Yes.
What you think? How you doing? Let us know.
Let us know. I posted the trailer for season 3. And I found a way to animate Eve and I, and it was actually cute. And I got it within like 3 tries.
Win is a win.
I was so excited. So we did that. And then yeah, just like the color change up and stuff like that. I think we're still. Did you do the stuff for the website?
Our website for the blog is still live. I'm working on the different graphics for it.
Oh, okay. Because you have to get all the different pixel sizes and all the other stuff.
Well, it's also going into like trying to embed things. So like if we want to have because they're coming out with new apps that we could possibly have the like our bibliography on our website, but I have to see if it's gonna work or not.
Yeah.
Lovely things. But the artist is still live with the old colors and stuff like that. I'll probably say mid-January. There'll be an announcement on our socials of when that is launched.
But yes. So, did you hear that John Chu was not nominated for a Golden Globe this year?
Is Scooby's me?
That's the whole thing is, so from my understanding, like tons of other categories were nominated and he wasn't. And I think that's super fucking rude. If you have no idea who that is the person who created and brought all this stuff up for Wicked.
But he's the director of Wicked.
Yeah.
That's rude.
I know, I was like really surprised. I'm like,
I used to watch that Avatar get it like 4 freaking times, or that man doesn't get it.
Oh, James Cameron.
Did you also hear that they didn't want that elf, like the chick who plays like Cynthia, that she's in the main one and then Ariana Grande's in the secondary one because they didn't want 2 from the same movie.
Yeah.
And they come in on multiple categories, and I'm like, that's kind of fun to like. They're friends, so.
Okay, so clearly you can tell someone's dating a Kardashian because for Best Motion Picture Drama, A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan biography thing.
Yep.
And Dune are both nominated.
Oh, so Timothy Chalamet is just thriving over there.
Musical and comedy, obviously, Wicked is nominated. There's a couple other ones that are. We'll probably look into them more in like the, what is it called? Our next episode that we have. But 2 movies that I've seen, but one of the movies that I still want to see is Inside Out 2 is nominated for animated picture, and Wild Robot and Moana 2. Which I think is cool because they didn't have a lot of the original people and the way that they stuck it together. It was originally supposed to be a TV show, so it's kind of neat how like that stuff got it and everything. But yeah, I was just kind of like surprised that there was a lot of people who, maybe were nominated or multiple people and stuff like that. So
I do get kind of bored when like it's like the same, like when you watch it in like one show, it doesn't even matter what show it is. Like I think a couple of seasons ago it was The Bear.
Oh yeah.
And it was like they went for everything, and I was just kind of like, I'd like other people to have the opportunity.
This is one thing that I do not like. It'll be the last thing I say probably about the Golden Globes, but like best performance by a female actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy. Those are 2 totally separate things. Like how is comedy not its own category? So Cynthia is nominated, and for males, nobody else from Wicked.
Jonathan Bailey is not nominated.
I'm baffled. So it's leading.
Oh.
A best performance by a male actor in a musical. So I'm just like, I feel like there's like a lot of stupid snubs, but there's also, like you said, a lot of the same people end up being nominated, and it's just kind of like boring. But a lot of these are like the predictors, they feel like, for the Oscars, which I'm just like, really? And that Zendaya movie is nominated.
What?
That Challengers movie that she was in with it's like I don't know, some like threesome movie she does with like tennis players.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
But I laughed because they have cinematic and box office achievement, and they have Beetlejuice, Deadpool, Inside Out, Wild Robot, Twisters, Wicked. I said Beetlejuice, right? And Alien, Romulus. I'm like, I feel like these were all the good ones.
Wicked surpassed Mamma Mia for being the top-selling box office musical.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's like $363 million now.
I don't know who these people are who are part of the Academy, but there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, nah, that looked boring. I wouldn't watch that. I'm not that into like award shows anymore. I remember when I was younger, I used to like watch them all the time, and now I think I just got so annoyed where so many people were snubbed where I was like, fuck this.
I used to watch like the Teen Choice Awards and the Kids Choice Awards.
The fun ones.
The fun ones, and there's like slime and stuff, and it was like people were doing like fun tricks and stuff. Now I feel like it's just like, I don't know, some of the shows that I see that are nominated, I'm like, oh, that is not a children's show.
Or I'm like, that exists?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm terrible at that.
So many things where I'm like, what is that? And everyone's like, oh my God. The number one thing that I hate those, I'm like, oh my God, everybody's watching this, blah, 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 blah. It literally makes my brain go, do not watch blank.
I'm also like, do we have different streaming services? Like, I have the same thing as you. Why are we getting 2 different things?
Okay, and that's the whole thing is like, when it comes to streaming services, there's so many times where I just like delete my profile and create a new one and everyone's like, well, don't do that. I won't build your algorithm. My algorithm sucks. Like, my algorithm thinks I'm like, I don't know, like some fucking woman who just wants to sit and watch rom-coms all day. Not even rom-coms, like overly dramatic movies or like stuff that has some like hardcore fucking scenes in it. And that's not what I want to watch.
No.
Okay, but I want to watch something fun and happy-go-lucky. And I'm like, oh my God, these suggestions are all terrible. Oh my God, this is what everybody's watching right now. Is there fucking something Adam Sandler on this? Like, that'll just at least make me laugh. It was so funny because one time I was like, I just want to watch something funny. I'll just have an Adam Sandler. The only thing that came up was Spanglish. And if you've ever seen that fucking movie, it is not funny. Or Click. Oh my God, that movie breaks my soul. But I noticed, speaking of algorithms, that when I was on like social media and stuff like that leading up to New Year's, there is a lot of like very random kind of like traditions that are out there or superstitions that are out there. And one of them I saw and I was like, I'm going to do this. Maybe this will be the year where I'm like superstitious. Like, not to the point of like not being able to do something for certain reasons, but I'm like, I'm gonna go along and do this. So I did the one where it was you take coins and you tape them to your doorway on the way, like before New Year's. And then after midnight is done, you either spend those coins or give them to someone. So as I was walking in the door from dancing with one of my friends who lives right next door, I was like, here's some coins. She's like, wait, if I take them, is it bad luck? And I was like, no, it says to give them away or to spend them. So that is a tradition that was passed down through generations. And for other people, I've never done it before. And apparently it's supposed to bring good luck, and it's supposed to allow money to flow into the house.
But you're taking the money away.
I know. I was like, oh, whatever. I've got coins. Why not? I was actually half expecting, because you have to like tape it, because it was cooler outside, that it was going to come and it was going to be down on the ground. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean if it didn't stay?
So obviously there's the tradition of the New Year's kiss. A kiss at midnight to bring good luck in love, whether it's a partner or a friend. It's always a sweet way to start fresh. Never had a first kiss. Never did I
I'm
even
gonna be totally honest. For the first like 5 years of my husband and I being together, he was so wasted. He either didn't make it to fucking midnight or he was barfing in the toilet.
Happy New Year.
And he'd be like, and I'd be here, 5, 4, and I'd either go out at one point and just like be in the other room with like everybody else. But for so many times, he'd be like, I love you so much. And I'm like, oh my God, no, hard pass. Um, I made the chronic, like, worst God joke in the entire world on New Year's. I kept looking at everybody going, this is how I'm going into the new year. And I would just literally put up my left foot. And so many people were like, because you're going in on your right foot. And I was like, yes, it's funny.
I just kept on saying I'll see you next year.
Oh, I did that. I said that to Mom like 4 times that day because I was here on New Year's Eve. And I was like, see you next year. Our brother thought it was hilarious when I did it too. Which, like, you gotta love, like, like, knee slapping reaction. And then anybody else I saw, I'm like, you know what? We'll talk about that next year.
It's so bad.
What is so funny?
The worst is like, oh, to all the people who work on New Year's Day or like the first day back to work. And every time it's like, it's December 30th, 2024. They're like, God damn it.
Like, shit.
Some of the other ones are on the topic of footings. The first footing, or the Scottish tradition. In Scotland, the first person to enter your home after midnight is supposed to bring good luck, preferably someone with dark hair. If you're lucky enough to have a friend who fits the bill, welcome them in. Could you imagine just being like, can you come at 12:01 and step into my house?
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
The one that I saw, of course, that blows up across all social media platforms is the 12 grapes at midnight.
Okay, can I state this, though? The people... You're supposed to do it at like 11:59, 48 seconds.
Oh my God, I know. I just saw a thing on this where the guy's like, I've literally been practicing this for weeks and I found out that I've been doing it wrong.
Oh my God. Everybody's like, oh, you sit underneath the table and then eat 12 grapes, which like some people are like, I ate 12 grapes at midnight and I had the worst year of my life. And I'm like, oh, I don't think it was the grapes' fault.
I didn't see any of those, but I was just like, were they covered in sugar? But I was,
Maybe like the crunchy ones, like,
oh yeah. I was just like, okay, that's interesting. It's like one for each chime, which should have given away the
12.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny as I saw that. And I was like, guys. Also, the people that were like getting like the big green grapes.
Like Costco grapes.
Like Costco grapes, and they were like shoving them down, and I'm like, oh my God. Like it's like 1 per second, so you go 1, 2, swallow, 2, chew, swallow.
I know the one guy was doing like the chubby bunny challenge, and it said eat 12 grapes, and I was like, dude, you're gonna fucking choke. You're gonna go into 2025 not alive. But
you know what I'd like to see is people blending up 12 grapes, and then you just go shot every.
That would 1,000% be me. I'd be like, I'm just gonna drink it right back. It'll be fine. Another one is so there's a lot of like burning things, just to let people know. So, I'll recap on a couple of ones that involve burning for my fellow pyros. Burning dolls, so like voodoo dolls. Some people do that to not bring the energy in. There's people who write letters about all the stuff that they're not bringing into the next year, like negative feelings or stuff like that. They burn those. The classic, open up all your doors and windows and then close them all up and then burn sage. So you're like releasing everything. That's another big one. What's the other one there? Oh my God, I saw this the other day and I laughed pretty hard. Wearing special underwear. So red for love and yellow for wealth. Why isn't it green? That's what bothered me. Your undies could bring you a look you're looking for. And I was like, why is it underpants?
I also want to know who woke up in the morning and was like, yes. Yeah, no.
Right?
Some of the other ones are jumping off chairs, which is Denmark tradition. Jumping off chairs at midnight is said to help leap into the new year and shake off bad spirits.
Yeah.
I'd biff it.
Oh, I'd straight up just fall off the chair probably.
Some of the other ones are throwing out old items, keeping items. A lot of people like to declutter during this time.
Well, declutter. So yeah, the one where you throw old items out the windows in Italy. So hopefully people were fully aware of that if they went to Italy for New Year's. Just dodging some shit. Also like the whole decluttering thing is very, very, very popular in like Japan and stuff too. So like declutter, get rid of all the things that you no longer need anymore. Ran foods of prosperity, which made me laugh because I literally almost bought donuts. But I was like, when you're sitting through social media, then you see a commercial. So I saw a Tim Hortons commercial and I was just like, kind of want some donuts. So I was looking online and then I was like, I don't need the donuts. What if the fates tell me I need them? Legitimately flick the freaking thing. And on my social media, it's like, from donuts to pancakes, round foods are eaten around the world for prosperity in the new year. And I was like, God damn it, I don't need the donuts. And not like, don't need as in like, I don't need the sugar or the fat. I never give a fuck about that. But I was just laughing at like the timing that happened with that. In Poland, sweeping the floors after midnight symbolizes sweeping away bad luck. So a lot of people like open up their doors and like sweep everything out. There's a lot of things around cleaning, which I don't want to fucking do.
I think because like you would think that this would be a better time to do it in March because like doing it in December when you take out. I understand like we live in America where it's like 3 degrees Celsius, 2 degrees Celsius, -1.
Oh yeah, we're not that earlier.
It's not cozy. It's freezing. So if I'm opening up all of my windows and stuff, I'm gonna be like, but I wasted my heat there.
Another one I saw is people were taking like permanent markers and writing on plates that they bought at like secondhand stores and stuff. And then they were like smashing the plates.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
The unhinged comments on those videos of like, are you gonna pick up your plate? Did you get all the pieces? Are you gonna do this? That could not be good for the environment. What happens if someone couldn't afford a plate and you bought the one plate that they could afford at the thrift store? And I'm like, wow. I feel like you need to go eat some grapes underneath the table. Like, Jesus fucking grousy shit.
Oh my God. Also, I felt bad because like I was watching all of these like traditions of people doing them, and then like when people are like the 2024 season has come to the end.
Oh my God, that guy.
Good night.
Yeah.
And like people were freaking out because he wasn't there. Like he usually does it at the beginning of December, so people can put it together. And he was like, "Sorry guys, I was sick." And they're like, "Where's the video?
I need this audio." I'm like, oh my God, this poor guy. What happens if he doesn't want to do the shit again? Then people are like, but I need the audio to set up for my pre-posting.
Oh my God. Also, the amount of people's things that I saw that was like, made it out alive, but I think I lost it. There I was about. And I'm like, Gracie Abrams making bank today.
Yeah, right, with her freaking things. Oh, I saw a lot that were to Taylor Swift songs, which I didn't know until I looked in the corner. So I was like, who writes this song? There was another one. Oh, fuck, what was it? Oh, that. This is the happiest year of my life. That one. Do you know what I mean? Welcome to the happiest year. Like that.
Oh. Yeah.
And then there was another guy whose song gets used all the time. And he was just like, when your song gets used on every video.
Oh my God. The one that I kept on singing was, oh, I hope you know I'm okay. And then it was like people going through, which like is great in the sense that like, I think a lot of people were like, oh my God, 2024 was terrible. And now it's 2025. And I found it really good because I worked New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I was like walked in the next day and people were like, Happy New Year. I'm like, guys, it was literally yesterday. It was literally like, calm down.
Well, and that's the whole thing is I find that there's like I understand that some people have shitty years. Clearly, we know that if you know like past ones. Like when 2021 was over, we were like, thank fucking God. Okay,
I don't like to think about that because that was probably the like I feel like no year can be worse than
what? I'm not no what. But that's the whole thing is like I feel like the trend is though is like Christmas. Oh my God, I love everybody. Christmas, Christmas. And then it hits like December 27th, and everything I see is like, I'm so fucking ready for this year to be over. And I'm like, whoa, what happened at your holidays? Or like, it's like always like, also it'll be videos and even just like creators who I've watched like several times and people that I know. And all the theme is like people like just shitting on the I'm so done with this year. I can't wait for this year to be done and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, I saw like the 27th, a bunch of people talking about like their things and their traditions that they want to do from the next year. So I saw like Hit Pan 2025 was like a lot, which is like you basically just like use your products until they're empty.
Yeah.
Thought everybody did that. I guess you need to space that. No spend years like we talked about in the past. What was some of the other ones? There was like a couple of them and people were like bingo cards. Yeah, it's like we've been doing for years.
Yeah.
And there was like so many of them and some of them had so much like weight to them and they were like, I'm gonna transform my life. And I was like, oh my God.
I understand like some people get motivation to do that. I think I'm way more we're way more motivated when it comes to like September. We basically run on a school year, essentially.
I would say yes, but
or even quarterly.
also there's taking the opportunities as they come.
Yeah.
So like obviously during the new year a lot of corporate goes off for like a week or so, so you have that time to kind of readjust and stuff. But a lot of people I saw, they were like, yeah, 2025 is going to be my year. And it's good to have like a mentality of improving throughout the years. But I saw this one chick and this is no shit on her.
Yeah.
But she was like, 2024 was the worst year of my life. And she was going through everything. And I guess my perspective on life is not to hold on to those things.
Yeah.
And like certain things that she brought up, like it was like a 3 or 4. Because I was like, I'm interested to know. And it was like, to me, that just happens.
Yeah.
Like that's just like, oh, it's the worst year of my life. I'm like, I understand that for you, but like if that's the worst year of your life, like we need to adjust.
And there's some people who like don't realize that things that bothered them, like I'm not saying like things could be worse, but like maybe have like a little bit of perspective on how things can be. And if those things affected you so much, like maybe you should talk to somebody, or maybe you should like figure out like the Mel Robinson theory. Let them. Like if you're constantly feeling like your emotions or the way that you feel about yourself and stuff like that is controlled by other people, let them. Just let them do their thing. They're going out and not inviting you, let them.
I think there's also, I saw this like, and the next segue is decluttering. And I said this to Sarah this morning. And I think in a way it's like not the physical thing, but the theory.
This is so on point for me. Because like I don't know. I think Lauren said it's part of that agoraphobia or whatever. But like, and yes, I'm a mom. How did you get through this, Sarah? It was fucking hard. But like there's certain aspects of bathroom activities, we'll call them, that literally make me so nauseous. Even like mentioning something that's like that, I'll start like gagging and making myself physically ill. And I don't know when the fuck that happened, but I feel like I've done it my whole life.
So it's called the poop theory. And I think in theory, I'll talk about how you can apply it to other things in your life. But it's a decluttering technique. So you know how Maria Kondo was like, if it doesn't spark joy, then throw it away. And then she was like, that doesn't work. So I saw this one, and it's basically, if an item in your house gets covered in shit, if you would clean it, then you keep it. If you wouldn't clean it, then get rid of it.
And I laughed so hard.
In a way that, like, if you think of that in the figurative sense, if if somebody in your life was shitting on other people and it really bugged you, then like, would you get rid of them or would you try to, not get rid of them in the bad way, but like, well, like, I said that to Sarah and her face was just like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, there's certain things in life, like a pen. Oh, well, is this pen was covered in poop when I clean it? And it's
not like that, but it's like, it is every single thing so important that you feel like you would do it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people, like, especially since the pandemic, who have gone through such, like, spend highs, and is so much quick access just to hit buy now, which we've talked about in other videos last year. As we're recording this on the 2nd. But, yeah, I think that's, like, the big thing is, but always do what kind of works best for you. If you feel motivated to, like, clean and declutter, 100% do that, but it's like, don't bite off more than you can chew, which is like super hard for some of us. I try to keep it to like a room at a time.
I usually try to do a section. So when at the end of last year, I went to Costco and they had this like ottoman bench, storage bench. And it was $30 and I was wanting to get something to hold all my memory stuff, like the papers and stuff like that. And I have like 3 clear smaller boxes and I was like, I just want one thing. So I got that. I put everything in it. And then I just was like, okay, I'll do the rest of my room sometime.
Well, and that's the whole thing is like, you don't have to do everything from start to finish. And that's a big thing for me is like, I'll be like, I'll just reorganize my cupboards and like put stuff in there. And I rotate stuff out often. Like, I don't keep a lot of stuff that I don't need. My child has a lot of opportunities at her school to like donate stuff. So if I know I'm not going to use it in the next bid or I don't have a plan for it, it's still good. I donate it. But like, instead of just like reorganizing things, I'll be like, 1 second, let me just completely go through my entire cupboard. Okay. And then I'll take this stuff out. Maybe I'll swap this stuff out and put this inside this container instead of having it in like the bag that keeps falling over and little bits keep coming out. Stuff like that is logical, but like sometimes I would get like so into it and I would start with like the cupboard that holds like pantry food. And then I would be like, now I'm going to completely declutter the entire kitchen and rip everything apart and go through all the stuff and get rid of things that I don't need, that I have too many things of. And I go all the way through it. And then it's like halfway through, I've got like all these containers all over the floor. And I was like, I don't want it anymore. I mean, there's tons of different ways that you can kind of start off your year if that's kind of like your jam. But the person who I originally saw leading back to like our intro, who said, like, just to let you know, Julius Caesar was the reason like this was changed. And if you're like, trial stuff for the first 3 months or do things quarterly or check in monthly with yourself, like you don't need to commit to some 12-month freaking goal of doing stuff or get your entire house decluttered in the next like month or 2. So remember, always be kind to yourself and stay as work as ever. Peace.
We've laughed, we've learned, it's been a ride, but the conversation doesn't have to hide. Tune in next week, same time, same place. We'll be right here, ready to embrace. Every Monday we've got something new. Life's unpredictable, but we're staying true. Through the ups and downs, we'll be here to guide. Come back next week, we'll be right by your side. Burnt out perfectionist, we've got so much to say. Real, raw, and ready to talk today. We'll be back next Monday with more in store. Catch you then, we're always here for more. Unpredictable, but we got the spark. Join us as we talk it all through. This is the show that's made for you. We've laughed, we've learned, it's been a ride, but the conversation doesn't have to hide. Tune in next week, same time, same place. We'll be right here, ready to embrace. We've laughed, we've learned, it's been a ride, but the conversation doesn't have to hide. Tune in next week, we'll be right by your side. Every Monday we've got something new. Life's unpredictable, but we're staying true. Through the ups and downs, we'll be here to guide. Come back next week, we'll be right by your side. Burnt out perfectionists, we're making our mark. Life's unpredictable, but we've got the spark. Join us as we talk it all through. This is the show that's made for you.